or is interested in hearing more about rare birds particularly, there is a survey at the end which will go out, and you can note down your interest there and I will get in touch with you. Feel free to use the chat box today to introduce yourself and to discuss the topic. You can also ask any questions that you might have there, and I'll forward them through to Julia, who should be able to get to them at some stage throughout the event today. Julia is one of our wonderful Rare Birds mentors, and she's very passionate about helping women to find financial independence. So, yeah, a huge warm welcome today, Julia. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to awaken all of these women here today on making money easy.
That's what we want to hear. Yeah. I just thought I'd ask, can you explain a little bit about what led you down this pathway? You didn't start your journey as a financial mentor, did you?
No, I'm a chartered accountant, and up until recently, I was also a financial advisor. And the reason I started this business was because I went through a divorce, and for the first time in a very long time, I had to manage my own money. Don't ask me why I wasn't managing my own money in the first place, but I realized that I was procrastinating and putting off dealing with money, and it was really easy for me to advise other people, but I was finding it difficult to put my own advice in place for myself. And I thought, why is that? And then I got into money mindset and things like Feng Shui and the power of your surroundings, and I just thought, I want to help other women, because if this happened to me as a financial advisor and I got all, overwhelmed with my own finances, it can happen to anybody. So that's why I started my business, to integrate not only the financial education piece, but also the mindset, the psychology and the energetics around making lots of money and being successful in financially.
Oh, well, it sounds like a really interesting topic, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it. So I will shut off my camera and I'll let you go ahead.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So today we're going to talk about what if money was easy. There's so many different things you can do to make money easier for yourself. A lot of the times we're blocking ourselves and we don't even know it. I'm going to talk about this today as we go through this masterclass, and I really hope that you enjoy it. Right. Next. Before I go on, just a quick disclaimer that this is not financial advice, and it's for educational purposes only. Okay, so imagine what life would be like attracting, managing, and growing money if that was easy for you. Like, I'm assuming it's not, because that's why you're here, and that's okay, because nobody teaches us this stuff, and you kind of just expected to know what to do. So like I said, there's so much you can do, and there's an abundance of money out there for everybody. There's an unlimited supply available to you, and I want to show you how to open your eyes, so to speak, so you can see all the opportunities before you and all of the tips and tricks that you can add in there to help your day-to-day money management, or in your business, to help you better manage your cash flow and just know what you're doing a bit more. So we're going to cover financial overwhelm. So everybody experiences this. As I said, this is the reason why I started this business, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed when you're in business and dealing with money. And I want to explain the reasons why this is especially overwhelming for women, and you might be surprised about that. And then also we're going to delve into what's stopping you from achieving your financial goals and financial freedom, and what you can do about it. There's so much you can do. Okay, so straight into the overwhelm. Women and money, right? I think it's easy for us to forget just how far women have come when it comes to money and how hard it used to be for our parents, grandparents, and all the women before us. We are really the first generation to have a level playing field when it comes to money, to have legal rights to manage your own money. If you go back to the 19th century, when a woman got married, all of her financial property went to her husband. Any income that she earned went to her husband. Even her children belonged to her husband. Now, that's got to play on our psyche, right? That's all of this ancestral trauma, I really do believe, really does come out today, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. If you can acknowledge it, it's really going to help you to find out what's blocking you from earning the income and making the money in your business that you really want to have, right? So I know my mother, for example, she, in the 70s, up until the late 70s, she couldn't even get a credit card, even though she was a breadwinner, without her husband's permission, so to speak, like being a co-signatory. Now, that's not that long ago. All of this affects us. It's like a financial hangover from the past. It's affecting what you believe is possible for you. And it may be in your subconscious. So you might think you're all across all that, but there's always some kind of story there that is still taking up space in your brain. And I want to help you uncover that. So there's also worry about mistakes that you've made in the past. Everybody makes financial mistakes. It's how we learn. And I like going over and ruminating all those mistakes is just going to distract you from the task at hand, which is bringing in the money and putting your money to work now. If your brain is taken up with all the decision-making capacity by worrying about what's happened in the past, you're not going to have enough capacity to work the magic that you are very capable of today, right? So worrying about the past mistakes is just negative manifesting. So go easy on yourself. Stop judging yourself. Accept that the past is the past. You cannot change it. The future hasn't happened yet, but you can influence it with your actions today, right? You always have the present. You have today. And there's so much you can do with that, but most of us are just caught up in the drama of what's gone wrong in the past and also the anxiety about what could go wrong in the future. Now, you want to be able to get past that. So, as I said, money is emotional. If financial success was only based on knowledge, librarians would be billionaires, but they're not. Right? Anyone can pick up a book on finance, how to make money from money, how to spend less than you earn and put your money to work, how to attract more money into your business with marketing plans and whatnot. But 9 times out of 10, it's not about what you know. Like the example of me as a financial advisor, I knew how to make money from money. I knew how to put a financial plan in play for my clients. But when it came to myself, it was emotional and there was all this resistance and procrastination. And that's how I knew I had a money block that I had to clear before I could move forwards. So know that it's possible for you to get through this because all of this stuff is learned and it can be unlearned. So following up on the overwhelm, right? Get over your past mistakes. It is what it is. Just accept it and know that this is the place that you're starting from. Money is super emotional. So make sure you're aware of when it's triggering you and get out of the future, get out of the past and just get in the present and know that you have the ability to make decisions now. Respond rather than react. We covered financial rights of women, the history of their financial rights. I really do believe all of this has an effect on our beliefs of what's possible for us today. When you think about it, we didn't have that many role models growing up. So it's inevitable that you're going to maybe doubt whether something's possible for you when compared to the way boys grow up. It's all, there's been a lot of research on this, right? It is the thing and it's still happening today. So there's also all these sayings and stories and childhood experiences. Even the movies that we watch, they're all changing now. But when we were kids, it was the women were the supportive roles. They weren't the heroine. All of this stuff affects us. Okay, so this brings us to money blocks. So money blocks are simply the thoughts, feelings, or beliefs that get in the way between us and our financial goals. They're the reason why we procrastinate. They're the reasons why you resist doing things. The thing that you need in order to grow your business or move to the next level in your corporate role. It's that little voice in the back of your head that says, oh, like, no, you'll never get that. That's never going to work. This is too hard, or I can't do this because of XYZ, or there's so many things. I'll go over them more in just a moment. But the important thing to understand is money blocks come from your underlying beliefs, and these beliefs are learned, right? In your first 7 years of life, your subconscious was a clean slate, and whatever was going on around you in those first 7 to 14 years, really, is what got imprinted into your subconscious and began your software program, so to speak, and the framework for how you make decisions. And you're making these decisions, using this to make these decisions today as an adult without the awareness of what these beliefs are or where they came from. Now, some of them are good. They're there to keep you safe. But some of them don't necessarily make sense now that you're an adult. That's because the 5-year-old version of you was the one who decided what they wanted to pay attention to and what was deemed the most important for them. So that's why it doesn't always make sense, why you're procrastinating, why you're blocking things that you really want. And this is where the magic is, because if you can find out what your biggest money block is, it's going to change everything. And all of a sudden you have these aha moments, and you just, oh my gosh, it just, you can spot more opportunities. You'll hold yourself differently. You'll speak differently. It's really very, very powerful. So the other reason it's so tricky to pick up whether, what your money block is because it's a negative belief. And a belief by default is something that you believe to be true. So you're not going to be questioning it. You're not going to be going, oh, is this the money block or not? Because you can't tell. It's like a fish in water can't tell that everyone outside of the fish bowl isn't in water. It's just one of those things. You need perspective. You need awareness. You need to go through these exercises that I'm going to teach you on how to unblock this kind of stuff. So emotions are running the show. 95% of our actions are directed by our subconscious, right? Walking, breathing, driving a car, all those things you do without awareness, so to speak. This is all your subconscious, and it happens with making financial decisions and acknowledging whether something is available to you or not as a potential, that goal for you. You might not even pick a certain goal because you don't think it's available to you because of your belief system in your underlying subconscious framework. A lot of these beliefs are stealth, right? Because you simply believe them to be true already. So you really need to go back to the origin moment in your first 7 years of life and work out what these moments were to create these beliefs. So common money blocks, especially for women, maybe it's greedy to want more. But is it really? Is that a truth, or is that just a belief system? I truly believe, now that I've done all this work, that having and wanting more money is a good thing, because money simply amplifies who you already are. It amplifies your value system. So if you have good values, which I know you all do, you having more money is just going to amplify that. You're going to probably share it with people around you. You're going to spend it with other people's businesses. You're going to help so many other people. Money gives you power, money gives you choices, and money helps you to collaborate and nurture people in your life. So it's greedy to want more. Can you see how that was someone else's belief that you embedded in your subconscious, if that happens to be your negative belief now? Just feel your way here and see if this is tweaking with you. The other one is making money is hard. That was my biggest belief, because my parents were entrepreneurs. They worked so hard, and I hardly ever saw them as a child. And when they did come home, they were always tired, or they were grumpy. But you know what? That doesn't mean that when I make lots of money, that I'm going to come home like that. Because there's lots of different types of ways to make money, and it doesn't necessarily have to be through working long hours, for example. You can think smart and you can utilize technology we have today to come up with ideas and record your IP and then sell it over and over and over again and make money while you sleep. There's also investing. Everyone has so much more access to investing and all those kinds of things now, which we didn't have when Ivan and I was, when I first started investing, you had to use a broker. You had to pick up the phone and you had to make a phone call about what you wanted to buy. And it cost you money to do that. And you had a minimum order. So nowadays we don't have that. And anyone can just go and even spend $100 just to buy a share online. And it might only cost you $10 to do that, or even less with all the micro investing apps. So making money doesn't have to be hard. So we've disproved that, right? So you can keep going. You get the picture and all this kind of stuff, right? So the other one for women is, who am I to do that, right? So maybe it is, I'm not good enough. I'm going to make a mistake, which is big for women, because this all goes back to this feminine conditioning. Don't rock the boat. Don't get too much attention to yourself. We've been trained to be submissive and be in the background, right? And when you start a business or get vocal in your career and you want to move up the ladder, that's bringing attention to yourself, right? This is not you can do whatever you want, right? You don't need to doubt yourself. If there's any imposter syndrome going on, address it, acknowledge it, and work through it. I can't, because all the excuses. I guarantee you, whatever your excuse is for not being able to take that action to move to the next level, whether it's I don't have time, or maybe I'm too old or too young, or maybe it's going to take too much money or something, there's always a way through, first of all. And I want to ask you, if that excuse didn't exist, what would happen then? I guarantee you would come up with another excuse why you couldn't do it. And that's because it's not about the excuse. There's an underlying block there that your software program, your subconscious, is trying to protect you from, because it sees making lots of money as something that is not good for you, because it might mean that you are going to have bad relationships or lose friends, or you'll be kicked out of a tribe because you're different to the people that you're around now. All of this stuff affects the way we make decisions, and they're called money blocks. So I want to help you identify your biggest money block. Now, I have a 4-step process for this that I take a lot of my students through. We don't have time to do all of it, but I'll do the first step, and I'll take you through a little bit of the last step as well. Okay, so the first one is, your past holds the key to your financial future, right? As I said, these first 7 to 14 years of life, they created the software program that is running your life today. The beliefs that you haven't even questioned because you just believe them to be true. And for example, let's say it's really easy to spot other people's negative beliefs, right? say, for example, you have a girlfriend who keeps going out with the wrong guy all the time because she's got this negative belief that maybe that's all she deserves or something, so she doesn't even go for the other guy. I don't know. It's her story, not mine, but it's really easy to spot this stuff in other people where they're blocking themselves because we're not in their version of reality. We're not in their fishbowl. But when you are in your own fishbowl and you've got all this stuff, all these beliefs going, you're immersed in them, you see them as true and you don't even question it, and you just think that's your reality. But your reality is really whatever you want it to be. So your past holds the key to your financial future. And I want you to do this exercise tonight, if possible. Don't procrastinate. Just, whenever you're feeling overwhelmed by this stuff, you've got to push through. So you take a deep breath, you get present, and you say to yourself out loud, this is easy, I can do this, right? So if you're feeling resistance around this, do that. And I want you to get a journal and I want you to write out all of your earliest money experiences that you can think of and list them all out. And then circle the ones that are negative, right? So maybe someone stole your piggy bank when you were a kid. So that maybe leads to a belief today that you don't want to go to the next income level, because if you do, someone will just take it from you and you'll be disappointed. So it's protecting you, this belief, from doing that by making sure you just don't go to that income level. Do you see what I mean? It's like the inner 5-year-old running the show. Another one is if your parents were always fighting over money, then, money, you associate that subconsciously, money with having more money with, bringing on more arguments in a relationship and not having friends and things like that. I wrote down some more here. Oh, what if your dad was the income earner, right? And maybe that relates to some kind of block now where you are limiting yourself on how much you earn, because maybe subconsciously you don't want to earn more than your dad or your partner, because when you were growing up, there was a belief system embedded in you, in your encoding, that the man is the breadwinner. So it's all in our subconscious. You just got to keep on excavating by doing all this inner work to find out what is blocking you from reaching your financial goals. What are these negative beliefs that are driving you today? Maybe your relatives spoke badly about wealthy people. Maybe they put rich people down, and then you just, the 5-year-old version of you associated being wealthy with people not liking you. You'd be surprised what comes up with this. I'm really excited to find out what happens for you. We'll have to find a way to connect after it so you can tell me what comes up. We'll definitely talk about this at the end too. So next. Okay, I'm going to skip through these ones only because we don't have a lot of time. We'll share what we've just talked about with the money stories towards the end, because I just want to make sure we've got enough time for questions and things like that. So so we're going to now go through creating your new truth. So all of your underlying beliefs were learned when you were a child, and they can therefore be unlearned, and you can replace them with new ones anytime, right? Now you're aware of this. Nobody teaches this stuff except for, some people are teaching it, but they don't teach you as you're growing up, and they don't teach you in school. But now you've got all this kind of information. So let's create your new truth, right? Because your money depends on you. And if you don't pay your money and your financial dreams attention, your money's just going to go somewhere else. I guarantee it. Most of us put off dealing with money because we think it's complicated, and that's probably a negative belief, because believe me, it's not very complicated. All you have to do is set up some simple systems to look after the money as it comes in, and also to put your money to work. And just remember, if you're in business, you need to keep making offers, you need to keep selling, you need to be visible. And that's something, as I said, women have a lot of trouble with. Okay, know where your money wants to go. Once you've done that first exercise and you've worked out what your old negative beliefs were, I want you to decide where you want to go next. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? You should be able to articulate it super clearly. And I don't just mean in your head. You need to have this written down somewhere. It can change as many times as you want. So don't worry about thinking maybe I don't want this in 5 years' time, because there's no goal police. You can change it as many times as you want. The important thing is you have to have something, because you have to set your trajectory on which direction you want to go, right? Because if you don't know where you're going, you will just end up somewhere else, and it's probably not where you want to be, right? You'd be surprised how many women have trouble articulating what they actually want. I was a guest at an event last month for emerging leaders in finance. And so I had a group of young emerging leaders in finance, and I was there to mentor them and help them with their careers and whatnot. And I asked all of them, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Every single one of the guys, bam, 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 rattled off exactly where they want to be in 5 years' time. There was no hesitation. There was no resistance. It's like, I want this. I want to be earning this. I want to be working here. I want to be feeling this. None of the girls could do that. None of them. I'd read research about this, but to see it in real life with these very intelligent young people, I was like, oh my gosh, it's still happening. So many women just don't know what they want. So write it down. It's so much better if you write it down, even than putting it in a computer, because there's been so much research around the fact that the brain recognizes something to be true more than when you write it down, right? You're 42% more likely to reach your goals just by writing them down and reviewing them regularly. That is massive. Not many people have written financial goals, so get yours in place. And most importantly, include the energetic side of it. How does it feel to reach your goal? Who is the woman that you are when you've reached your goal? And how is that different to the woman you are today? You need to raise your vibration, and you need to lift yourself up and act as if you are that woman who has already reached your goals. If you want to make the next $1 million in your business, right? How did she do that? How did she make decisions differently to you? She was probably much more decisive, much more faster with her time. She was probably much more focused. She had a lot of confidence, and she knew she couldn't fail. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you set as your financial goal? Because really, the future hasn't happened yet. And if you can't even think big, how are you going to act big? You've got to be able to stretch yourself, right? So write down your goals, articulate it clearly, and know how it feels to get there. The other thing you can do is creating your own empowering money mantras. Now, a money mantra is just a short, quick statement in the present tense that is an unlimiting statement about who this millionaire version of you is, right? So connect that money mantra to your biggest block that you found. So my block was it's hard to make money. So my money mantra has been, it's easy for me to make money. And there's lots of other different ones. I think I wrote out a few in case I forgot, which I have. So I'm excellent at money. I am a wealthy woman. You'd be surprised how many women can't say that because they don't see themselves as being a wealthy woman, or it's possible for them. You have to acclimatize to who this woman is. You have to become her now, right? I am a wealthy woman, and it's safe for me to make lots and lots of money. Because believe it or not, a lot of the time, one of the negative consequences in our belief system of reaching those goals is that someone's going to take that money from us, or it's going to cause a fight, or something's going to go wrong and we're going to lose friends. Address that, acknowledge it, and just be aware of it so that you can spot it when it comes through in your everyday life, and you can do something about it, right? So yeah, make it short, make it unlimited, and state it in the present. So not much further to go, promise. Be aware of your blocks. Set up empowering financial habits to protect yourself from yourself. There's so much you can do with all of this. Like really, we can, let's take you through some of them. You can set up visual goal anchors. So maybe it's that empowering money mantra that you've come up with, because your words are your wand, and your words affect your thoughts and therefore your actions, and therefore your reality. So if you can remind yourself to say your mantra over and over again by making it your screensaver on your phone or your computer, or maybe you're making it your password or something, you need to immerse yourself in this stuff to remind yourself of who you really are, because we've all forgotten our power. We've forgotten who we really are. Maybe you've got a visual goal of where you're going to be living, what, vision board type of thing. Take some time to do that. It is very, very powerful stuff, and all the most successful people in the world do it. They might not even talk about it, but a lot of them do it. So the other thing you can do on the financy side of thing is to look after your money as it comes in and before it goes out. Silo your income with automations. If you're earning a salary, ask your employer to direct your salary a portion between maybe 3 different accounts. You'll have your everyday account, because we don't want everything to go in there, because I guarantee you will spend it all. It's just human nature, and it's really hard to fight that. Right? So set up some guardrails for yourself and silo your income. Have a certain portion of it going to your savings, and have another portion of it going to pay off your debt, or to go towards investing so you can put your money to work. Automate your payments, because that just saves so much time, and it also saves money on late fees and penalties and things like that. And all of these reminding yourself to make these payments takes up capacity in your brain, right? And you want to be using that brain space for income opportunities, not for things that can be automated. So automate them wherever possible. Now, the biggest thing that I find works so well is decluttering. This all comes back to the energy of money and the energy of feeling the way you need to feel to be this wealthy version of yourself. Declutter your physical and digital space. You don't have to do everything. Just start small. Maybe just do your desk or something, and then maybe just do your text messages. But your surroundings are a reflection of what's going on inside of you, and vice versa. Right? So if your desk is really messy and you've got thousands of emails in your inbox, I guarantee you your mind's messy and you're going to be feeling overwhelmed. So you can cut out that overwhelm, that component of the overwhelm straight away by taking a deep breath, getting centered, saying, this is easy, I can do this, setting a timer for maybe 10 minutes, clear your desk or clear some emails, just get it done. And you'll feel so much better. And then you're making space in your life and in your energy for more income opportunities and more positive things to come into your life, right? This is a whole other topic, decluttering and the Feng Shui aspect of money, which I'm not going to get into here, but it's just something that I wanted to quickly mention because it is so powerful. Track your income. Notice I didn't say track your expenses. You can, and you should, make sure you're not being silly and only spend things on that add value to you, but track your income, because whatever you focus on grows. And we're so busy tracking the money going out, which just emphasizes the fact that we believe we're not going to have enough, instead of tracking the income that comes in. Try tracking every single cent that comes into your bank account every day for the next 60 days and see what happens. I guarantee you will start to see things that you haven't seen before. You'll start to see opportunities. You'll start to spot ways for more income to come in, because your brain is focused on the money coming in and where can I see the money coming in? Whereas before it was probably focused on where can I stop the money going out, which, can you see there's a really different feeling to that? The one where you're stopping money going out is really contractive and it's negative and it's depressing. Focusing on ways to make more money is empowering, it's expansive, it's just a whole different way of looking at things. And all of this energetic and emotional side of money is just where all the magic is. So finally, when you're feeling stuck, like I said, take a deep breath, get centered, ask yourself empowering questions like, what if this was easy? Like, there's always a way through. And most of the time, we haven't even gone down the easy path because our belief system says this is going to be really hard. So we're not even looking for the easy options. We're just our brain is looking to confirm our beliefs. And if you believe making money is hard and managing money is hard, that is exactly what you're going to find. So what if this was easy? Journal on this. As I said, writing stuff down is just so powerful. What if this was easy? What if I couldn't fail? What would you do next if you knew your success was inevitable? It changes everything. You start looking at things totally differently. And this is so magical. What's the next right step? And my favorite, because this was really something I wasn't good at, what if this was fun? Because money can be fun. It can be fun and it can be easy. And if you keep reminding yourself that, that's exactly what you'll find. So you are just as capable as anyone on the planet of building wealth. Just remind yourself of that as often as you can. You are enough. You have so much potential that is just untapped because of these negative beliefs. So uncover them and disprove them and start putting your positive mantras and goals into place. So that's it from me. If you want to learn more about my business, I'm at lovelockwealth.com. I have a free money quiz there to help you with money blocks. And I have 20% off until the 8th of May for you guys only.
Thanks so much, Julia. That was really amazing. We had a lot of people echoing your sentiments on the decluttering thing. I think there's a lot of support around that.
Yeah, it's really good, that stuff. Sorry, there were lots of chats coming through, but I couldn't read that and keep my focus at the same time. So I would have liked to have integrated that, but I thought it would be just safer to just leave it to the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, one of the things I was going to say is for those people who might be a bit interested in the kind of Feng Shui concept, is there anywhere you could direct them? Or...
Yeah, sure. I have an introductory Feng Shui course on my website, which is called Abundance Activation, and it specifically goes through the details of things like decluttering and setting up your surroundings for success, decluttering your mind and decluttering your physical surroundings. So that's a good one. And I integrate all of this stuff in my signature program, Money is My Lover.
Lovely. I've got a couple of questions, and that should give us some time if anybody else wants to send any through. Yep. So there's a question here: how can I determine whether I have a money block and what it is?
Well, have you reached your financial goal? No? I'm assuming no? Then you've got a money block. It's as simple as that. If you're not where you want to be, it's because you've got a block, because anyone can achieve whatever their dream is. You wouldn't have that dream if it wasn't possible for you. I'm not going to dream that I can be a professional world-class basketball player, because I know that's not possible for me and I don't even want it. But there are a lot of other dreams that I have. Yes, they're massive, but I know that it wouldn't be possible for me to come up with that dream if it wasn't possible for me to achieve it, right? It's only us that is blocking it. And you'll see that there's like, where are you making it hard for yourself? So many people come to me with their own business and they're like, I need to make more sales on my business. And I'm like, well, where's your buy button? Some people make it really hard for people to make the transaction because of this energetic resistance. And most of the time they didn't even notice it, because they're not looking for it, because they just assume that if people really want to buy it, that they'll connect with them and find a way to buy it. But this is not easy. We need to make it easy. How can I make this easy? There's always a way. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that's great. I think it's, that self-awareness is basically your first step then. So
yeah,
understanding that the block's there, I'm guessing a lot of people will start to consider that this afternoon and what they're practicing at the moment.
It's just having that awareness, because everybody has blocks. There's nothing to be ashamed about there. It's very normal, and you're always going to have a block. It's going to keep coming back at a different level just to test whether you're through it or not, right? It's just a new level, new devil kind of thing. It's always going to come back. It's stealth, right? And you'll spot it, but like after the fact. And you'll be just going, oh my God, how did I not see that? It's because you're in the fishbowl, you can't see it. It's like being in a jar and you can't see the label on the front. Everyone else can see it, but you can't see it. And it's really obvious to everyone else, but you can't see it, which is why a lot of people need help with this kind of stuff, because you can fix it yourself, but it just takes longer.
All right. Well, I think we've kind of run out of time. Obviously, you can reach out to Julia if you have any other questions that haven't been answered. But thank you, everybody, for coming. And thanks so much, Julia, for sharing all of your expertise today. I think it's given me a lot to think about, and we'll be taking a lot away from it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I've awakened a few people up to what's possible for them. And by the way, this is for men as well as women, but it's just that I focus on women. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Julia, and thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you next month.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.